Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the welt stitch, and this is done in the rounds. There's also welt stitch in rows, which we have filmed. It may not be available at the time of this releasing, but we'll figure it out, but it will be available eventually. So what's going to happen is that it gives a look. This is actually a knitted sample. See how flexible this is? The welt stitch has a similar look to it, but it's not as flexible. It is a little bit, but nothing crazy like the knitting is. So it's a really neat pattern. It's based on 2 rounds that are the part of the repeat. So if you wanted to do this as part of a hat, you could. And so in one round, we're working on the good side of it, so the side that people see, and then the other round, we're working on the inside of the hat. You will see there is going to be a slip stitch line that you will see in the hat. Unfortunately, that's not avoidable. So that's a neat concept, and I'm going to show you what this is. So what I'm just going to do is that I'm going to get myself set up so I can be able to show you how to do this next. I'm going to be using 2 size crochet hooks today. The 5mm is what the project is. The 6mm, so the H is the 5mm, J is the 6mm. I'm going to use the 6mm whenever I'm on the back side of the work or the wrong side to do the slip stitching. I'm tight with my slip stitching so I can create a buckle. So by increasing my hook size like this, I can be more consistent between the 2 types of stitches that we'll be doing today. So let's start off with the regular size hook in order to begin our project. So whether you're going around an established brim or you're creating something that has a certain count, this particular stitch does not require you to count your stitches unless it's meaningful for your project. So what I'm just doing is that I'm just creating a chain, and then I'm just dropping it, coming to the other side, and then I'm going to continue to chain so that when I stopped, this chain will not be all twisted and weird. Okay, so we just kind of leave it out of the way and keep on chaining as many times as you want to create the center of the brim area if you want to do that. And you can also, again, start this stitch immediately on an existing brim as well. So when you're ready and you think it's big enough, just yarn over it, pull through everything, and you have a center just like this. So your case, it probably will be bigger. So let's start the first round. To do the first round, I'm going to recommend that you do it this way. Chain 1, and normally half double crochet, I have you chain 2 normally, and sometimes that counts as a half double crochet, but in my case, I'm telling you not to. I want you to start with the first stitch with the back hump of the chain, and I want to do an extended half double crochet. To do that, yarn over and going into the back hump of the chain only, and yarn over, pull through. With half double crochet, we normally yarn over and pull through everything, but this is an extended half double crochet. So yarn over, pull through just 1 loop, and now yarn over, pull through all 3. So it's a little taller. So we want to continue on the next one. So yarn over and in, pull through 1 loop only, and then pull through all 3. And I want you to do this all the way around. So next one, pull through 1 loop, and then pull through all 3. Please go all the way around and maybe at the end of the round in a moment. So I'm coming all the way around and I'm doing my extended half double crochet right to the end. Okay, I got 1 more to go. And then once I have that done, I'm just going to join. Make sure that if you're doing it like this, that this doesn't have a weird twist to it, and that you're joining to the top of the first half double crochet. So now we have the talk. In half double crochet, there's what is called as a horizontal bar. And the horizontal bar is actually on the back side of what you're looking at. And so you can see that you have the 2 strands here. This is your normal one, but there's actually a 3rd one. And if you keep rotating around, the 3rd one is right here. So what I want to do though is that if you use that 3rd one and go around again on top of that, it creates what is called as the camel stitch. But in case what we want to do is the welt stitch. What I want to do is switch out my hook to the 6mm size J, and I want to put this on, and I want to turn the whole project so that I'm looking at the inside of the hat from this perspective. And what I want to do is go all the way around in the opposite direction on that back bar. So let's begin to do that next. So to start with, you want to chain 1, and all you're just going to do is you're going to look for the horizontal bar. And so if you flip it up like this, you will see 1, 2, and then the third one is right here. And that's where you're going to do a slip stitch. So just going into the horizontal. Once you get the first one, the rest are easy to see. So you just pull through and through. Here's the trick. Slide it down to your shaft. Don't keep it on the throat because this will have the nice distance that you need. So when you're looking for the next one, you can switch it like this and flip to look for it, right? So there you got 1, 2, and the third, or you can trust in yourself and just glide up and it will capture onto your hook. And you pull through and through. And you're gonna slip stitch that. So once you get the first one, the whole front end of that stitch turns over. Do you see it? See how it's turned over? This was the top. It's no longer the top because you're using the third bar. And so you're just gonna slip stitch yourself all the way around like so. And this is creating the look of what we're about to do. So please do this all the way around, slip stitching on the back bar by looking at it from this perspective. Coming all the way back around, and I just slip stitched the first one. Now, let's get rid of this hook and go back to the regular size. In my case, it was a 5mm size J. And before I do anything, I'm gonna turn it around like so. I'm now looking at the outside of the project so you can see how it's building out and creating the indentation. So let's just put this back on. And now we're going to begin with what we already know. And so we are going to start in chain 1. The first one is right here. And we're going to use the back loop of the slip stitch line. So just turn it so you can see it. So there's 2 strands that make up a stitch. You're using the back loop only. And you're going to do an extended half double crochet into the back loop of that slip stitch line. Pull through 1, and then pull through all 3. And now you got the first one in. Once you do the first one, it gets easier to see them. Okay, you just kind of follow it along. So in, pull through 1, and then pull through 2. Or sorry, pull through 3. So wrap, back loop, pull through 1, then pull through 3. And so you can see this is creating the indentation to go back down, where when you do that slip stitch line, it causes the project to turn over and to raise up. So go all the way around doing the extended half double crochet in the back loop of the slip stitch line. So I'm coming all the way around to the very last one, and I'm just going to slip stitch it to the top of the first extended half double crochet. Once you pull through, switch the hook back out, put the other thicker hook back in, and turn it. And so you're looking at the inside of the hat. So let's begin to do this next. So I've already shown this before, but all you're just going to do is just chain 1 and just kind of pull it, and you have to get the first horizontal right here. Okay, so if you look at it from this perspective, you see the two stitches that are top. It's the third one right here. Sorry, you're just going to slip stitch it. So just glide it up. And again, the first one's always the hardest to see. And then once you see it, just glide up and start slip stitching yourself all the way around. And so when you turn it back around, the top of this should be turning over, which looks like that. So slip stitch all the way around, and I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming around and I'm paying attention to where I see all the stitch work. Remember that the chain 2 never counts as a stitch, so I'm technically on my last one, and I'm just going to slip stitch it to the first, like so. Change out your hook to the regular size as you turn the project back to the front side of the work. And so when you start again, chain 1. So looking for your first one, and just do the back loop of the first one of the slip stitch line, and just do your extended half double crochets with what you already know. Okay, so this creates the indentation to go back down. It's easy to kind of forget about having to come through that one on its own. So just be mindful to keep an eye out for that, just in case you are going off in a different direction, but you're now creating the indentation in once again. So as you get back around, you're just finishing up with what you already know it to be, and you're continuing along. So you will see a slip stitch line, but the rest of it will look pretty clear, and that's a really neat concept. It thickens up your work, and it's a really great idea. So this is the welt stitch done in rounds.